What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. Today's a debut of Mabinogi. We have Rundle Dungeon, followed by Fidoh and Coil Dungeon, or is it Fidoh and Coil Dungeon? Requested by Isa, and also shout out to Magnus. I don't know what this is. Never heard of it. No idea, but there's actually a handful of requests for it, so that's something. Let's not judge a book by its cover, even though my brain says visual novel. Let's see what Mabinogi is. Rundle Dungeon. Composed by Handstone. Girl on the right, her dress reminds me of 2B. That's a very full sound. A lot of lows, a lot of highs. Those lanterns. Interestingly enough, the art style reminds me of Toho a little bit, and the music is sort of reminiscent of the decimal games of Toho. What was that? Tom on the left side, or is that a kick drum? Ooh, very nice lead. There's some Chrono Trigger stuff that sounds like this too. This reminded me of two things I really enjoy. 80 synths and the soundtrack of Gunbound. It sounds like a modern Gunbound to me. It's so jarring hearing that. And then consistently the whole time has been that synth bass just pumping along. This has a really nice sound to it. Very fulfilling sound. Catchy stuff too. Ooh, I like this fade out here. The bass going away. Ooh, that's pretty cool actually. I actually really admire that ending. That's something you never really hear. Slowly removing stems. It's funny because I've done that once in a song. You know, it's one of my favorite songs that I did, where the ending is literally just like this loop of stuff, and then every bar or so, like another part gets removed until it's just like nothing. It reminded me of that. That's, you don't really hear that too much in video games, but that's really cool. It's either just a fade out or like one single note to end it, or an abrupt stop. So that was nice. That was a nice like peel away the layers kind of thing. I'm trying to get an idea of what this is, but I mean, it's for lack of a better term, it's kind of a broad image. It's see two characters and maybe releasing a lantern, which probably has some symbolism. There's a black sheep. Rundle Dungeon. I've never heard of Handstone. I never heard of Mabinogi. But I will say that I quite enjoyed the sound of it. There was a lot of good lows, a lot of good mids, and a lot of good highs. You know, everything just sounded really well rounded to me. But not only that, is when it was time for the leads to kind of show up, they were really upfront. So making it more of an earworm, and you know, I'm gonna be able to remember dun 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 dun, but also the sound font of it with this kind of like really sharp yet delicate lead sound. Sounds almost like a whistle or a lullaby kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it, but... And then it just had this overwhelming feeling of like 80s synth stuff. The bass was all over the damn place. But I don't know, just something about it reminded me of like... kind of, but if you've ever seen Bloodsport, which is an amazing soundtrack, by the way. It doesn't sound like Bloodsport at all, but if you can imagine the vibe of Bloodsport, like that, like the way the film looks, that kind of 80s camera look, everything's in slow motion. That is what I kind of heard here, which is totally random because it's called Rundle Dungeon and just two girls in a lantern. Very good though. This is Fidoh and Coil Dungeon, or Fidoh and Coil Dungeon. Another dungeon. It's a lot shorter of a song. This is really good sounding. I'm really curious about this. I'll look up what this is later. Some of these things sound like Fruity Loops samples as well. Yeah, and the bass. Guitar. This has to be a visual novel, right? Dude, this sounds really good. Production-wise. It's very mystical. Songwriting is cold. What the hell? There's so much clash right now. Ascending bass, sound over here, and then the ding ding. And it's kind of like a trap beat too. What the heck? And it just ends. What the hell? That last part was so dissonant, but not in a way that was like clashing or out of tune or anything. It was harsh in a good way. It kind of gave me the feeling of it gave me a setting, which is probably wrong, but when I hear stuff like that, I think of like a sewer, like sewer levels. You know, I hear like clanks and metal, but it also had like this kind of flow to it, which reminds me of like, you know, the water going through it or whatever, sewage. I can imagine like the kind of steel ladder and all that. But also it sounds barren. You know, there's like no people in there. That was, I don't know how to explain what I just heard on these two. Like, it's really, really good. There's nothing bad on them. And I have like no critique. I'm just like flabbergasted, perplexed. That was very unique. It's always odd to throw that word up because it's now amongst the other thousands of songs I've heard, but it is unique. I don't know how it's unique, but it's unique. Something's just something. You know that whole expression, like I can't put my finger on it, but there's something there. There's something here. I don't know what it is. Meanwhile, I'm trying to decipher what kind of game this is. Why have I never heard about it until today? And then all of a sudden I see like 10 requests for it. Yeah. I think about that a lot, actually. Now that I've been doing this for a while, and I get so many comments of, you know, whenever I upload anything, obviously people will talk about that or something relative or relevant to it. So I feel like I've heard of a lot of titles by now, either through passing or, you know, but I've never heard of someone speak about Mabinogi. So I'm just like, huh, it caught me off guard, really, is what I'm saying. I feel like something along the lines of like it slipped through the cracks, or this is such a deep cut that how many people actually know about it. So much so that I'm tempted, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to go through my comment section on YouTube. I'm going to filter out everything except for that word. And I want to see if anyone's ever mentioned this game before. Mabinogi. None. Unless YouTube is down. I have never received a single comment for Mabinogi. So now the moment of truth. What is Mabinogi? What is this? I'm so curious. Came out in Korea originally in 2004. This is 20 years old now. And then here in 2008. It's an MMO. Okay. Released by Nexon, developed by DevCat. The name of the game is taken from the Welsh word Mabinogi, Welsh anthology of legend. And the settings for the game are loosely based on Irish mythology. Game features hand-painted texture stylized with edge detection outlining. Wait, is the game still going? Isn't MMOs like, that's like their whole thing? It's like just the fact that they just keep going forever. Hold on, I'm just kind of like, let me look at what this game is like. It's an MMO. You know, funny enough, I haven't done, even though one of my most popular videos on this channel is an MMO, I haven't done many MMOs. The anime MMO outlived 100 others. Can I just see gameplay of it really quick? Yeah, I haven't done many MMOs. What have I done? World of Warcraft 14. This. Okay, so it's, I don't know if there's like any footage of the game. It's just, it looks like just a bunch of videos. Oh, here we go. This one from 11 years ago. This is Carlos Carbajal. Oh yeah, that's an MMO, all right. Damn, do you guys see the? Can you see the? Oh, you can't see it. Look, Windows XP. That's a blast from the past. Okay, it's a straight up MMO. So basically, what I'm getting at is like an anime-looking style MMO in Irish. What made this game stand out? Like, what was it about it? Because the fact that it was already 4 years established before it came over here, I don't know. And is it still going? I don't know anything about MMOs, dude. The only thing I know about MMOs is what the title says. They're massive multiplayer. They're meant to be like ongoing forever or for a very long time, as long as they get support. You meet some of your best friends on it. You might even meet your significant other on it. So I'd have to assume this game probably has like hundreds of songs. I don't know. Honestly, that was really good sounding, regardless of what it comes from or whatever. This image didn't do it any justice because I thought it was gonna be a visual novel. I'm being completely honest. But that sounded really good. Sound font, songwriting process, like the way it was constructed, the leads, the bass. Let me just show you really quick before I get out of here how many other requests I have for it. So for who knows, maybe I'll get an influx of Mabinogi fans. Let me show you how many. Oh, Mabinogi. Did I been saying it wrong? Jeez, dyslexia. Let me show you all the songs I have left. I have Ouroboros, Song of Wind. I don't know when these are gonna happen, by the way. An Old Story from Grandma. From Magnus. Piano version. Par Ruins. Pika Dungeon. G20 Boss Zabak. Old Superstar. Succubus Queen Theme. Emperor of the Immortal Kingdom. There's a request for this. Starlight of Ancient Times. What the hell? Yeah, that's a lot of requests for something I never heard of. Well, honestly, I'm excited. Like I said, I can't think of many MMOs. If you know what MMOs I've done, please tell me, because I don't know, besides the two I mentioned. As far as I know, this is the third one. But honestly, for a game that, what I'm guessing those sounds were 20 years ago, it sounded really good. Let me know what else this composer has done. I don't know, it kind of blindsided me. That was really, really good. I guess the dungeon part makes sense now, as far as titles go. One more question. What is the setting of the two we just heard? Like, where do they play? Okay. Anyways, thank you to Issa and Magnus as well. Cool. Mabinogi. Okay, video game music. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Later.